drivers, Lyft drivers, soon to be Trip drivers, soon to be Goat drivers. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, I want to talk about the differences of rideshare companies in the arena, right? Today, we're talking truly about the differences of rideshare companies in the arena. We're not here to trash. We're not here to put our fellow brothers and sisters down that are trying to get rideshare companies off the ground. In fact, quite the opposite. We help expose, some of the issues maybe that they're having in their beta stage, but we support them because we want a player in the arena that can mix it up with these, I call these almost like bullies or monopolies, right? These guys will try and strong arm everyone out with their tactics. So no matter whether you Trip, and let's talk about them for a second, because I know that they have one spokesman who's already going in attack mode on Goat. We welcome your publicity. Any type of publicity, good or bad, is publicity. That's the way I see it, right? I don't judge the guy. I guess he's in his end 20s. He's been doing different things over the years, different money-making online platforms that he's worked with. I don't judge the guy, but I will also warn him when he crosses the line and slanders, right? Right now you can say something question marks, it's questionable. So people jump in on the debate, just like I would say, is Trip, legit? Like many other companies have asked, is Trip legit? It's up to the public, it's up to the drivers to decide, right, whether they want to participate, spend the money, and help support companies such as Trip. So I'm not here to slander them. I want to see them succeed, right? And I think by exposing certain things, companies pull up their socks and become better, right? So the other day, I did a screenshot of Trip. It was a 40, 50-minute drive that usually costs $50, $60 with Uber or Lyft. And on their platform that they went live, I tested it. I put a real screenshot there out of said, why is this trip cost $450? Nobody's going to book it for $450. Granted, they're in their beta testing stage, right? Okay. So you put it out there so that they immediately correct it, right? Because one thing you shouldn't do in this business, in any type of business, is the coming soon, right? Coming soon. That builds up a lot of hopes, a lot of promises. In fact, I want to sort of read to you briefly what the word soon means, right? When you say, hey, it's coming soon. Soon means in a short while, everyone will soon know the truth, and not in a short time, shortly, presently, in the near future, before long, in a little while, in a minute, in a moment, in an instant, etc., etc. So to come out with wording for any company, I think coming soon is dangerous. I would never use those two words, right? What you can do is when you launch a company, and you can ask any of the guys in Palo Alto, I've mixed it up with them. I've been at these meetings. When you're out there pitching things to venture capitalists and to angel investors, they go through a series of steps before they get the big money, right? What they want to do is in phase one, just like we did, we launched it on Indiegogo, just like other companies launch it on GoFundMe, is that you want to show that you have we have our why. Why are we doing this? Because the drivers need something different, right? That's why they're also migrating to Trip, right? Because they are desperate for something new, right? Because why? They are sick and tired of the bullying and the manipulating with Uber and Lyft. So Trip is doing it the right way, as is Goat, capitalizing on this mistreatment of drivers, right? And they're slotting themselves out. You got to give both companies an equal chance, right? We have a different approach to Trip. And I want to make this very, very crystal clear so that the guy who's bashing me understands our approach, my approach with my team, with my house, with our drivers, how we're going to do this. And then I also want to try and attempt to see how Trip does it. And I want input from them, because I've met with the people, I've met with the directors, and there were a lot of promises back in 2018 on the table, right? Even guys that were bashing me recently on Goat had a lot of doubts, made videos on their doubts about Trips, and then changed their perception as the company started bringing out screenshots, etc. I'm not here to show pretty screenshots, my friends. I know that together that we've started a movement. The movement is real, and the movement is based on the upset and the mistreatment of these guys. If you just recently see what this Camp guy did, he went out and bought a $72 million mansion in Los Angeles. That is the wrong message to any person in our house, in Dustin's house, in Harry's house, in that Trip guy's house, right? Sending the wrong message. Work for us so we can afford these luxuries. That's not what this movement, GOAT, is about, right? This is a grassroots movement, right? That by the drivers, we will form a new company for the public. Now, the one thing that Trip did very, very successfully, they used the multi-marketing approach, right? And usually, let me just share, because I've been part of a few multi-marketing, because I'm always interested in to see how companies market themselves. It doesn't mean I believe in the product, right? But I'll sign up there and gladly spend the money, the $300, the $500 with Herbalife, because I want to see how these companies market themselves. You know, I'm very curious when it comes to marketing, because that's my background, right? So I want to see, how does Trip do it? So if I go out there and spend the whatever $149 with them, and you sign up as an influencer, right? The term influencer, how do they go out and influence the public, right, to participate in Trip? How do they influence the public to sign up as a rider or a passenger? How do they influence the Uber and Lyft drivers to sign up as a driver? That's where my curiosity comes from. That's why I signed up there. That's why I met with the people. And that's why I'll keep on pushing stories out. I want them to succeed. And even the guy that was bashing me, it's fine with me. You can't hurt my feelings, my friend. I'm not in return going to judge you, right? There's a lot of stuff written online about you. I'm not going to judge you for that, right? I just say, do your homework and don't slander online, or don't put falsehoods out there, because that's why you have attorneys. That's why you go and serve papers on the desk. That's why you drag people into Superior Court or Small Claims Court or Supreme Court, right? Is because if you stand for something that's legit, right, and you're pushing a movement forward that is by legitimate drivers, be very, very careful to not jump the gun and shove someone down, right? I'm not out here slandering Trip. They are launching in Miami in August on the 17th, I believe. I want drivers in Miami to pick up Trip passengers, right? Got to happen, right? So they, throughout 2018, throughout 2019, they said this company was coming. They did updates. They have a team together, right? They have a design team, they have a tech team, they have spokespeople, and they're building this on the multi-level marketing platform. That, I think, is undisputed, right, that they're using that model. Now, with a multi-level marketing platform, this is truly how it works. If you sign up an influencer, usually you'll bring someone on board and say, hey, promote these products, Herbalife products, promote these Amway products, right? You're signing up with the possibility to sign up other Herbalife distributors, with the possibility to sign up other Amway distributors, to sign up other Trip distributors, but you have to offer a product at the end of the day. You know, I didn't do my master's in business for nothing. I didn't do a second degree in e-commerce or psychology for nothing. I truly want to understand the mechanics of business, what makes people think, what makes them tick, what makes them buy, what makes them sell, what makes them special. If they have a strong why, they usually succeed. The big companies that have a powerful why succeed. So I'm asking Trip, if you can present to me, I can make a video on that. What is your why? Why are we doing Trip? Let me make a video for you, right? Use my platform, use other rideshare drivers' platform to explain to the people what Trip is about, right? What you truly, truly stand for. But what I'm seeing is, and obviously I speak to a lot of people, I get a lot of feedback, right? That influencers are signing up influencers are signing up influencers are signing up influencers, and influencers are signing up influencers. But to come on board in the capacity of an influencer and a driver, and I carefully say that, but I think that 90% of the influencers behind this multi-level marketing company are influencers that maybe haven't driven yet, that haven't taken a rideshare trip. Does that sound familiar? Dara K, building a company with billionaire investors, but they don't understand the business, right? No, I don't say that the Trip people, the founders, don't understand the business. I don't know how many trips Bishop has taken. I don't know how many trips McNulty, their funder, has taken. I don't know. So I can't make that judgment, right? But at the end of the day, right, what counts is no matter how many people you bring on board, what are you going to service out there? How many trips are you going to do? How many passengers are you going to move from A to B? How many riders will download your app? How many people will physically get behind the steering wheel? Now, this is something that these guys have done very, very successfully, right? Uber more successfully than Lyft, right? They've definitely opened up way more markets worldwide. You know, I think they're in over 600 cities, Uber. Internationally, they've broken to every country. So these guys have walked the walk, right? But as they became greedy, as they saw the money coming in, greed took over. That's the fine difference. So we're going to jump around between these four, right? Because I want to really distinguish what we stand for, who these guys are, who these guys are, who these guys are. And on this, come on board and explain yourself, right? And explain when you introduce yourself to our house, hey, I'm an influencer, or I'm an influencer plus driver. It's very, very important that you introduce yourself, who you are. I myself, I drive for Lyft, I drive for Uber, I do private trips under my TCP, I lease out cars, a lot of them, and I'm forming a company with drivers for the public. That's who I am. That's what I put out there in the universe. That's what I stand for. So if you're coming on board into our room as a trip driver, explain exactly who you are, what you stand for, and in what capacity did you sign up with this company, right? Again, we want to see you succeed. And here's the reason why. The more people that you have in the arena, the more rideshare companies in the United States and abroad, the more competitive it becomes, the better they have to pay, the better their customer service has to be, the better they have to treat you. If there's two companies that are already collaborating, they used to be arch enemies, now they're collaborating, right? Because they don't want this employee status. But if there's two companies bullying the shots, calling the shots, right? How can we ever achieve better pay? How can we ever achieve better treatment, better benefits, right? We got to mix it up and bring new people. And I want 3, 4, 5 more companies out there. I would welcome them. I would support them. I would make videos for them. So please understand, Trip, when I'm making videos, I'm making you better, right? Because I'm calling you out so that you plug those holes. When I say, why do you say coming soon, coming soon, coming soon? That is my challenge to you to come out right now. Because when you say coming soon, it means you're coming instantly, coming out in a minute, coming out very, very shortly, right? So I am challenging you to get out there. So I'm happy to see that in Miami, Trip drivers will be on the streets, right? In August, I think they said the 08/17 is the day, right? I want more clarity from Trip drivers, how they will bring drivers and passengers on board. Because right now, I believe to sign up for the package as a Trip influencer driver, I think it's $249. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think to come on board as the capacity of a Trip influencer, it's $149. So if you're a trip influencer and you've never taken a trip before, your goal, knowing multi-level marketing for years and years and years, and these people jump around, they jump ship, there's no loyalty. They jump from Monavie to Herbalife to Jeunesse, over to Trip. They go where the money is, right? And granted, so you'll have a lot of trip influencers sign up, but I want to know how many people sign up and spend the $249 and want to become a trip driver, right? Recently, and this is just a few days ago, I saw that there was another incentive to sign up as an influencer driver with Trip, where you could pay $249 now, and you could drive and then pay later. What does that mean? Drive now, earn, and pay later. What does that mean, Trip? Give us some clarity. We're trying to help you make a better company here, yeah? We're working together with you. But none of this trashing, please, Mr. Padril, right? Because I don't think you want to get on the wrong side of me. That's all I can say, right? You can ask some people, some Nigerians in South Africa that got on the wrong side of me when they tried to scam me out of $600,000 in my vending business. It didn't end well for them, right? And that was bringing these people to justice in the courts and more, right? Taking their passports away, keeping them there, because they had committed fraud. They'd stolen money, $600,000, right? No physical harm, doesn't have to be done. You just drag them into court and you use authorities to shut them down. One or two of them ended up in jail, right? And you don't want to end up in a South African jail. So don't go out there and trash talk, right? Not a good thing. I have never, ever trash talk Trip. I've challenged them, and I'll keep on challenging them. Show me who you are. Show me the money, right? Now let's go to Uber and Lyft for a second before we jump over to GOAT. With Uber and Lyft, if I can think of one name, this will bring up a whole range of emotions. Travis Kalanick, right? He had this guy camp and said, listen, we're here in San Francisco and we're waiting for this. This is a true story. This is how Uber was formed. Remember, these guys copied these guys, right? This is literally a copy, different marketing, et cetera, et cetera. But let's talk about Travis Kalanick. He's there with his bros, right? And they're ordering a taxi. The taxi's not coming. And the guy's like, why on earth do we have to wait so long for a taxi? He's got a good point there. Why do you wait 45, 50 minutes sometimes for a taxi and it doesn't even come, right? That's not cool. So they then said, listen, we have their apps, there's phones, there's technology. Let's brainstorm an idea that we can actually create a service where the car comes to you faster. And Camp, or whatever one of the guys went out, created a pitch deck, which I talked about the other day, and they went out and raised the first monies. Do you see something common here that GOAT has with Uber? We go out and show angel investors. I prefer working with angel investors, right? And anybody want to know the difference between angel investors and venture capitalists, you're more than welcome to email me. I'm not going to discuss that here, but they function very differently, right? Venture capitalists can usually bring way more money to the table, but they want way more control. Angel investors are usually private individuals, very wealthy, that'll put in an amount, 100, 500,000, maybe $1 million, and don't exercise so much control in your company. They give you the flexibility. That's one of the finest differences between angel investors and venture capitalists, right? So where I'm heading with this company, okay, as one of the directors, because Brian Olsen is one of the directors, and guess what? I don't go and stud my company or movement that I've started with big names, right, who want insane salaries, right? That's not the route I'm going here, right? Because if you want $40 million or $45 million to just show up for Uber, right, this company would never succeed, right? So we have to start with humble beginnings and humble targets, my friends, right? And when you can say to an angel investor, hey, we have this platform, and follow me on this here for a second. A few weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, this company was born in this house. You guys gave birth to this company, a company by drivers for the public, right? It was born right in this live stream about 2 to 3 weeks ago. What happened in 3 weeks? I'll be honest, I pulled off a team of 6 people that I pay, right? Salaries, percentage of company incentives on other projects. I pull them off and say, focus on this. We're onto something big. The timing's right, the movement's right, the message is right. Most importantly, the why. Why question mark? The answer to that is right. We have a very, very powerful why with GOAT. Okay, so pull these resources off the teams, get them on GOAT, and go self-funded, right? Guys like Brian working late, myself working late, myself going into meetings. When after 60 days, the first stage of funding is reached, $25,000, very, very achievable together, very achievable with a worldwide audience, very achievable with a strong why, right? So when you have hit that target, you can now turn to angel investors, private investors, and say, listen, this is what we have. We have a lot of drivers, we have a powerful why, and we want to revolutionize and capitalize on their mistakes. What are they doing wrong? They're exploiting drivers, they're not paying them well, they have an unethical split 60-40, and as you can see, dear private investor or angel investor who knows all about stocks because they are wealthy, they have the money, they understand the stock exchange, understand, dear investor, they are obviously not doing so well. And obviously you've been following the media, right? These drivers and these drivers are striking right now, right? So there is a disruption in the market. This is where we have to jump in. This is where Trip has to jump in, right? And they're doing it. They're doing a great job. Their timing was probably better than our timing, right? But why not have 2 companies succeed in this market? It would be better. It would shake things up, okay? Yesterday, we started a live stream. We started it in an earthquake. I kid you not, for anybody in here today, and I'm going to jump into that room just now. I'm not ignoring your message. I just got to really get the fundamentals and talk about the differences here so that we set the stage for an open discussion, right? That yesterday, we did a live stream. Universe sent us a powerful earthquake, and we got to shake it up. It's my calling, it's your calling to do something about this. And I am not going out there and saying, hey, this is what you got to put in, or you got to pay this $100 or this $250. No, it's a different approach, my friends. Mad Mike has a shocking email he wants us to see. Send it to me. Send me that link, Mad Mike, and then I will see if I'll okay it, all right? So, sorry, slight little right turn on the earthquake, but back to the story. So Travis gets this pitch deck and gets his initial investors in, right? Guys with 50,000, 100,000, guys that believe in Travis Kalanick and his direction. And they made a lot of money, and they backed the right horse, right, at that time. Then they went out and they went through different stages of funding. There's seed capital, first round funding, second round funding, blah, blah, blah. They rearranged the stock. They never did have stocks for drivers, but they have different stocks for the founders, different stocks for first round investors, different stocks for late investors, different stocks that SoftBank got, or the United Arab Emirates, a big group consortium also invested, and they all made money. Right? They all made money. But there was a point, I think, in Uber's history where they got greedy. So did these guys, Lyft, right? Lyft, I think, just copied, flew under the radar, reinvented their marketing, mustache, little cutesy, little bit more friendly advertising, different advertising. Wasn't really after the business person, was more with the guys in shorts and t-shirt. You will still see Lyft drivers today. Hey, why do I enjoy driving for Lyft? Because I don't feel like there's so much pressure on me as there is with Uber, right? It's a different culture, but they're both successful rideshare companies. This, in the stocks, I think this one's going to do better because they're still going to open up markets, right? They will still, I think the stock will still increase, right? These guys would have to show other models right away because they branded themselves as the Amazon of rideshare. So they're going to have to show they can succeed in the drone technology, in the aviation technology, in the helicopter industry, in the boat industry, in the submarine industry, anything transportation-wise, trucks, etc. They have to show that they can still do something and become a player. So they have a lot to prove as well, right? We here, on the other hand, we come from a history of knowing the business, right? Experiencing the business through these guys, and then say, okay, how can we make that experience better? What are they missing out on? What are they not listening to that we have to contribute, right? The first thing, and I'm going to throw this right there, out there, the first thing that we have to do that they are not doing is put a fair split between the company GOAT and the drivers that helped build GOAT, right? So it's still hovering whether it's 70-30 or 75-25. It's going to be one of those two, right? So we start with a fair split. Then when they start talking about incentives, rewards, the way they package it up, I don't see true incentives. I don't see true rewards. I don't see true rewards if you achieve 500,000, 1,500, 2,000 trips, etc. That's where we can do 10 times better. The third factor I want to bring in, and I am on the board of directors of this, there will be no, give the word right now, there will be no supersonic salaries. There will be realistic salaries. This BS of 40 million and 45 million will never, ever be a discussion point for GOAT. Because when you start bleeding those 45 and 45, that's $90 million right there, right? $90 million burnt up between two people that haven't even ride shared. They have a degree, right? They understand business, as do we, as do my board understand business, right? But they don't understand the fundamentals of rideshare. They have an army of programmers that is constantly changing the algorithms to outdo and outsmart the driver. That creates a culture of mistrust. That creates a culture of disgust towards them. And that creates a culture of disrespect towards them. And that is where they have failed in the last 6 to 12 months. They have done so much damage. I don't know if they can ever repair that, right? So in we jump and we capitalize on those mistakes, right? So I ask you TRIP members, if you're listening in, I ask you GOAT members to work together, not work against each other. The word scams, the word crap, let's not judge each other, right? Let's just make sure that we have one thing in common, is that we get out into the marketplace and we disrupt, right? We become a disruptor, so things change. And I want those people I will support those people 150% that will want to drive on Uber, Lyft, GOAT, and Trip, or Uber and Lyft, or Uber and GOAT, or GOAT and Lyft, or GOAT and Trip. The flexibility should always, always be your goddamn right, right? That is your right to exercise wherever you want to go, whether you want to work for these two, these two, these two, these two, these four. That is your goddamn right. Sorry to use the word God. I'm not trying to be blasphemous here, but you can see how I'm trying to create the distinctions between these four. Now, we're off to a fantastic start within 24 hours. I can tell you we're off into a fantastic start within 14 days. We have close on to 1,000 members already registered on our platform. That umbrella platform, you know what it is, right? The umbrella platform, the reason why we strategized and brainstormed that was, how do we address cities? We want experts in cities. That's why we said ambassadors, right? So anybody that shows me they have a 4.85 or 4.9 or higher qualifies for a city ambassador. You have a qualified person who A, knows how to drive, B, knows his city, C, has a high rating. That to me is the true definition of a city ambassador, right? So when you use the marketing of that platform to enroll passengers, right, to enroll drivers, you then have a person they can turn to in a city and say, hey, help me out. I'm new here. I just moved to LA. I just moved to Vegas. How does it work? Or I want to move from New York to Vegas and have a second job, rideshare. Can anybody help me? You have to have city ambassadors to support them, which then cuts out, right, the cost of this massive, ineffective call center, right? None of these two, in my eyes, I don't know about you, but in my eyes, have a call center that works. Then squandering money on Uber hubs, right, where people go and truly don't really get things resolved because these guys are an hourly and they're there to do the minimum at the hubs, right? No, you have to have qualified people in a zip code, whether it's Huntington Beach, La Jolla, San Diego, Culver City, Los Angeles, the Bay Area, wherever you are, you have to have qualified drivers that know the city, have a good rating, and have an understanding of the business, right? So that was our brainstorm session behind that our call center will ultimately become the platform where people can go and speak to an expert in that area. Things that they can't address would then be addressed by the company. Instead of guys just swarming a hub, swarming a 1-800-593-7069 Uber line, you get a generic response, you get more aggravated, you get more upset, you get more aggravated, you get more upset, and nothing gets resolved, right? And so by cutting out hubs, by cutting out super expensive, ineffective call centers and relying on powerful city ambassadors, you have reduced probably 1/3 of their costs, right? Or a mammoth percentage of their costs, right? Because they spend insane amounts fixing issues, fixing problems, not resolving problems, keeping you in the wheel. I've looked at that very closely at that side of the company. That to me is highly, highly inefficient, right? Now, when it comes to marketing, these guys here have relied heavily on drivers bringing in drivers. Trip is relying heavily on influencers bringing in influencers, bringing in drivers, right? GOAT is already a movement supported by an umbrella platform that is already having a lot of these people register that can be converted instantly, right? We are also putting out the merchandise, the stickers, etc. By you making a contribution of whatever, $10, getting a sticker, we do want to give something back. It's not like, hey, just give. That is not my attitude. That's not been Brian's attitude. It's not like, hey, show us the money, give. Want to give something in return so we can market something in return together, right? So, and again, worst case scenario, and it's just cards on the table, worst case scenario, we do not raise together. Our house does not raise $25,000 together within 60 days. I can say, hey, maybe that movement isn't that powerful. As a businessman, maybe it needs to be abandoned. But still, that money goes in to protect your voice, goes into street teams, will pay attorneys, because right now we need a collective bargaining, a collective voice to stand up against these things. And streetteams.com is our best shot at it, right? And I would hope that the people behind uberpeople.net, who have a strong following, would really also stand up for their drivers, or put petitions and campaigns, or maybe hire attorneys, as we are doing, to protect those existing drivers, right? So it's sort of my duty, the duty that I grew into. The voice for drivers was always, hey, protect the driver from these two companies, from other companies, be a voice for them, be a transmitter, transmitting the voices to the companies, right? So whatever you say gets transmitted up there. That I will always stay loyal to. The videos will always keep coming. The topics will always keep coming. But behind the scenes, I have an amazing chance with an amazing team to form an amazing company with amazing people. Does that make sense? And I hope that answers your question, Gregory, right? Don't jump to conclusions. If you don't know me, don't know my history, don't know what companies, you do the research on me, what I sold handshake.com for. You do the research on me, what I helped Westside Rentals do, bring Westside Rentals online. That was then bought by apartments.com. You can ask Jerry Slavonia from rent.com what Torsten Kunert has done for the national apartment industry, right? We've all made a lot of money together, right? But we've always played open, clean cards. So no trash talking, Padril, because that is an arena you do not want to enter with me, right? So if you want to be friends, extend the olive leaf, shake the hand, work together. But if you want to use my name that I've worked a long, long time to build out, Rideshare Professor, and you want to trash it and you want to slander it, I'll be at your doorstep. Okay? Take that as a warning. So now, but again, the invite is there. If you want to work together, great. But I am monitoring those videos so closely. I'm having legal people look at every little word that you write, because right now you're more or less trashing my name, calling me stupid, calling me, I have a business degree and I do know what I'm talking about, right? And I have to defend myself. I have to defend my character, the person who I am. I don't have shit written all over the internet or people coming after me. No, I don't have that, right? I'm here to build a legitimate company. I've already shown that I'm in the top 3 worldwide as far as a rideshare voice. I've built that over the years, and other companies that fitted into the rideshare arena successfully that make me a lot of money, right? So every day I can tell you my number 1 duty is to be a father. The second duty that I have is to walk the walk and be the talk for the drivers. That's it. That's who I am, right? So I ask you kindly, no trash talking. I extend an olive leaf. I will work with you guys. But if you're doing what you're doing now, it's not going to end well for both sides. So we got to do this, right? The ones that we want to disrupt, we want to be seen as disruptors, are these guys here, right? And there are so many people. And I'm not just saying this, but there are so many people, so many drivers that are so ready, that are so eager to get into a position where they're making money, or at least decent money as they did in the beginning, right? I think, is that a fair assessment? So Vinny Kaz, you asked me a question earlier on. I hope I answered it, but that is my main question. If you have been successful with other projects, why do you need to crowdfund? A good question. Let's answer that. A lot of my projects that I've done, including Monster Rentals that I've sold, or Rentwave, I started with crowdfunding. And the reason why you do a crowdfunding is that if you can show an investor on a crowdfunding platform, listen to this very carefully, Vinny, because if you can show an investor or an angel investor that you have easily, with the help of drivers, with the help of the house, easily raised 25K, then they regard you as a legitimate player. Right now, the last 2 weeks, the company formation, trademarks, websites, techs, all self-funded, right? All self-funded. But my why, Vinny, is different. My why is not just me in solidarity. It's not just me, hey, I'm going to form a company and make money. My why is I have an opportunity to start a board of directors with drivers, right? For example, one of the first guys, I know who this character is. I know his integrity. I know his smarts. I know how hard he works to become a friend through my channel. One of the first guys I would bring on board as we get to second and third round funding would be a guy called Thomas Gibson. One of the first people who knows how to interact with people, who's always friendly, right, that I would ask to come on board and work together would be Kevin and Paula, right, because they have a specific skill set. They know how to treat people. They know how to talk to people, right? And that's what we got to do here, is treat everyone respectfully. And I don't want to go out like Uber and Lyft and have to tap into VC money, venture capital money, because VC money, I know it from fellow members that have made a lot of money. My one ex-girlfriend made a ton of money in Wedding Channel, and I said, do not take a VC. She ended up I think she ended up making $80 million, right? Helped to package up Wedding Channel. But the VCs, the venture capitalists, started taking control of her company, and she had no say. She was pushed out, right? And that company is worth a whole lot more, was sold for a whole lot more. So I have met with these people. I have been up and down the coast at mixers. I've been with all the big boys in North California, Palo Alto, in the days when the .com and when the .com bubble rolled around, nobody wanted to talk to us, right? But being through the grinder, Dustin, how are you, right? Understand what it takes to raise capital, understand what it takes to choose good people, and mostly understand how to treat people fairly, correctly, right? So that they feel like, hey, they're part of something. That I have always been good on. And I'll say that outright. I don't know if that comes across arrogant or anything like that, but that is who I am. That is why I'm on 35,000 subscribers, right? It's how you talk to people. It's how you treat people. Respect is a two-way street. It's not just you earn respect and you give respect, right? And say no more. Let's jump in a bit. We've got a lot of good people on board here. So Atlanta says fun with drones. I like that. He's obviously a droner. You obviously take footage maybe for the real estate market. It says fun with drones, 1993. Tell us what we need to do and we'll do it. I drive in Atlanta and make shit. Okay, so let's talk. What's your name, Fun with Drones? So I can give you a real name. I want to use Fun with Drones as an example. Probably not happy with his pay right now in Atlanta, right? Probably not happy with the treatment. Probably does enjoy and I'm saying this carefully, correct me if I'm wrong, Fun with Drones. Probably enjoys driving, meeting people, and likes the job, but wants to make more money, right? The thing is, just go onto our website, Street Teams, right? You can join for free. You can make a $2 contribution, whatever you want to do. Come on board in some capacity and be a voice for your city. So when this does take off, I have people to fall back on in Atlanta. Whether you contributed $5 or $250 or $2, we have good people on board that are fed up with these guys, right? So that is step number one, right? And then it grows. And we'll keep you, the one thing you're not going to see on this, when the GOAT site launches, there are no two words that will be say coming soon. I think that is where Juno failed, and other companies that have used the words coming soon should take them down immediately, right? You do what you do appropriately at the time, right? And when we come out with the GOAT website, it will be announced, just like we announced 4th of July, we're coming out with a funding platform. Just like we did 2 weeks after we spoke about the idea, we came out with the umbrella platform, streetteams.com, and then we make our next promise. But right now, within 60 days, got to get to the finishing line. And then it becomes extremely exciting. So who do we have? Trip Rideshare. When I started a transportation business, Dustin, I hadn't given any rides either. Launching a company nationwide is going to take time, and Trip hasn't taken money from. Okay, that's cool, and I appreciate you for saying that. I welcome this Trip Rideshare member in this house, and I appreciate what you said, right? To say that Trip hasn't taken money from no one, that's not true. I paid $149 to become an influencer. That was taken out of my account, right? So I don't know if you could tell me if I'm wrong, but I had $149 billed to my credit card to my account. They took $149 out, right? Because they said, become an influencer. I signed up gladly with that because I'm supporting the company, and B, I want to see what makes them tick. I want to see what happens in their back office. I want to see how they do their marketing. I will gladly pay $149. But to say that Trip Rideshare, to say that they haven't taken a cent, I'm sorry. How much have you truthfully paid Trip Rideshare today? So your life only gets better when you do. Work on yourself and the rest will follow. 100%. Right? But I need you to clarify, Trip Rideshare, if you have not paid a single cent to date. If you could tell the room. Be honest. Right? I can be honest. I paid $149. Right? But I paid $149 to look and understand their system. I think a lot of other people signed up, paid $149. Have they charged you anything further? No. Don't try and divert the answer. I asked you. You said Trip doesn't charge anything. I said they charged me $149. Don't divert the question by saying, have they charged you anything further? No, they haven't, but they did charge me $149. Your announcement in this room was they don't charge anything. How much have they charged you, Trip, to date? Answer that question, Trip Rideshare. I want an honest answer from you, right? Because when you are taking monies and you have not delivered yet, right? And the multi-level marketing system usually will take a fee, $200-300, and you'll get product, $300 of Herbalife product, right? That's usually how an MLM is set up. Okay, so the honest answer, he says, I haven't paid nothing to Trip. Okay, so in what capacity did you join Trip then? Trip Rideshare? Are you an influencer or are you a driver influencer? As an investor in Trip, they should show all persons who invested. I think at some point they will have to. Larry C says Trip Rideshare is not with Trip, he's starting trouble. I don't see Trip Rideshare starting trouble. He's come into our room, he's welcome in our room. He's 100% welcome to bring his opinion. I'm just trying to learn from Trip Rideshare. Oh, okay, this is where I have to strongly disagree with you, Trip Rideshare. It's not an MLM, it's a startup project. Everything in the company, Trip, is using every single MLM, the point system, the signing up system, the hierarchy, putting people under. It's MLM, right? It's MLM, multi-level marketing. I'm sorry, Trip Rideshare. I've been around the block with MLMs for a long time. You know, over 20 years. I understand MLMs, and it is set up as an MLM. So it's not a start. It's a startup company. Technically, you're right in saying that. But when you say it's not an MLM, I hate to disappoint you. It is set up as an MLM. The incentives, the points, the rewards, bringing in influencers who bring in influencers, it's an MLM. Okay? So let's come. What's very important for all parties is we come from a level of truth. The more truthful you are, the more clarity. The clouds will open up, the sun will shine through. And that is where you have to start coming from, Trip Rideshare. So to say that you haven't spent a cent, I don't understand. There's in some capacity you have signed up. In some capacity you have made an agreement with Trip. Otherwise you wouldn't be using that word Trip. If you understand business, it is set up as an MLM, which is fine, I'm not saying they cannot set themselves up as an MLM. I'm not saying that. I said it's a great way of marketing. It's a great way of making a lot of noise, but you have to deliver. And the success rate of MLMs out of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of MLMs is a very small percentage that has made it. Amway, Herbalife, maybe, even Monavi, which was $1 billion company, faded away. It's not there anymore, right? So there's a very few MLMs that have stayed around for a long time. There's even a essential oil MLM. I checked it out the other day. doTERRA, I think somebody sent me all the details, right? It's still there. Obviously, they're making money. They're signing up people, but they're selling a real product, just like Amway is selling a real product. So when you set yourself up as an MLM, you have to deliver on a real product. If you're showing up as Trip and signing up people as influencers in an MLM platform structure, signing up drivers underneath you, getting paid for the driver or the influencer that you bring in, you have to show what is the product that we are selling. So to me, the product is a future promise on becoming a driver. To me, the product is a future passenger will sign up. Right now, right? And again, we can't say anything negative, I give them, they said on 8/17 they're launching in Miami, and I welcome that date. Trip Rideshare, I welcome that date. Okay, so that to me is an honest answer. I appreciate you saying that, Trip Rideshare. I never did MLMs before I saw Trip. Okay, that's an honest answer, and I appreciate you saying that. Right, I'm just telling you the way the company is set up, and I challenge anyone to correct me if I'm wrong on this one. The structure, the classic infrastructure of multi-level marketing, multi-levels of marketing, right? You come in under an influencer, you now have the chance to influence other people and start building your downline, is set up as an MLM, right? But I thank you for being here in our house. And everybody give him a shout out to Trip Rideshare. Show him love, right? We want you to be in this room. We want you to contribute. I want to understand your company better. All I have done in the past is I've said, why do you say coming soon? Why do you say you're coming out in March? Why do you say you're coming out in June, right? Now I have a date. I have a tangible date, 08/17 Miami. Thank you. I appreciate that, right? I made a video on the rate, a 40-minute, 50-minute drive being $450 something, $2. I had the right to make it because that is the screenshot. That's the numbers I was getting. Whether you're in beta phase or non-beta phase, I shouldn't be branded stupid for that. I'm just stating, showing, holding the mirror up, that is what the company is doing, right? And what I'm showing you holding up the mirror, what GOAT is doing, is that we are raising little twosies, fivesies, $10, $50 for people that become city ambassador. And guess what? When you're a city ambassador, we're giving back immediately at the $50, $100, $250. You can market your links. You can market your referral links. You can set up your own channel, as Rick Reviews has successfully done. You can become an ambassador in a city. You have different privileges. So we're giving back. A GOAT is not by taking, and not giving anything back, right? The funding platform we set up is saying, if you are donating $2, you are donating $2 to a cause, because I'm your voice who pays attorneys, right? And we'll go and battle it. I'm going up to Sacramento on the 9th to fight, right? That's it. I'm going up on the July the 9th at 11:45 to battle, to get in front of that microphone with Uber and Lyft, because they called the rally, right? And they can't show us from stopping, from coming there. We're going to go there. Like I said, South is going to invade the North. Southern Cali is going. I'm driving up with 5 troops, right? We have to keep on exposing the BS. New York Times exposed the story of the SEI, whatever they're called, union doing backroom deals with Uber. It is our duty, it is my duty to expose that. It is your duty, the room. Bob McNulty is ready to open 20 cities after Miami. And Trip Rideshare, I believe you. I'm not doubting that. There's more than 20 good cities out there waiting, right? And I want to see you in those 20 cities after Miami. Thank you for saying that, Trip Rideshare. I think I've given you a lot of shout outs, Trip Rideshare, haven't I? Think about it. The money comes from getting customers to pay for rides. That's the business model. I've given this gentleman or lady, I don't know, because you haven't said your name, a lot of shout outs. I have reached out to a guy that's blasted me and called me every word under the sun when I've checked him out. I don't think he has the legitimate right to call me that, but I still haven't judged you. I've said work together with us. Denver Mitch, drive for free, accept donations. Drive for free, accept donations. Okay. That is a very, very, very interesting business model, right? But what if those people in certain markets would exploit that? You're driving an hour down to LAX, make usually anywhere from 50 to 150 on that trip. And then obviously they take their 60% out. And the guy decides to give you $15 as a donation, $15. Not making money. But I'm willing to try it out. If somebody can say, hey, I told the guy, just make a donation, I'll take you to LAX, and this is what I got, right? There is a company called Ridelinx, Rydelinx. They have a great business model for all the commercial drivers out there, where the commercial driver can nominate their price. They can say, hey, I am willing to drive from Thousand Oaks to LAX for $60 in an Escalade. And then other people compete, other people bid on their prices. Interesting business model. I've looked at it very closely the other day. I will be reaching out to them, as I will be reaching out to many other industry leaders to see how can we work together. Looking at all the business models to try and form the best business model, right? The one thing that I think these guys have completely missed the boat on, how many of you have done parcel deliveries or picked up things for clients, or please go over there and get me that, I can't get there, and they use an Uber and Lyft? That immediately, the cargo function has to be incorporated in our GOAT app. If the guy wants to order a quick delivery from point A to B because he cannot get it delivered in time by express, or it's too expensive by express, they can call GOAT Courier. So now this leads me to one of the next points. We are not just focusing on the model of rideshare with GOAT. We also look into the future, right? So immediately the courier, the express, anybody's willing to drive a parcel from one part of town to the other part of town in their Honda Civic, get paid for it through GOAT, right? The other thing is, with my girlfriend, you may have seen her briefly on the live stream. I took that live stream down yesterday. I would have loved to have kept it there, but I was doing a sideways, my stupidity, right? I had the sun against me and I was holding the phone sideways and I was doing a sideways stream. But you did see my beautiful, lovely girlfriend at the end, right? She is one of the directors of BMW North America, one of the people that got me the big, big sponsors, right? I've been with her for 5 years, right? She is a heavy hitter, smart lady who works with Germany, with BMW. I was at the launch of their new drone technology, their drone car. I already got all the business cards from the people there that developed the drone, the drone vehicle, and I said, I want to work together with you in the capacity of GOAT, right? So, let's keep the conversations going. We have a platform, we have people, you have the technology. These are the type of relationships I've just formed in the last few years. Never mind all the relationships I bring in from the past, because that's the one thing I do since my childhood days, since my school and my study days. You keep the friendships, you keep those friendships going, right? I might be in Europe next year or whatever, this summer, and hey, I call upon this buddy, that buddy, or I call this buddy because he knows this buddy who can do this, right? So networking, nurturing your contacts. There's no better place to form those relationships than in this industry, the rideshare industry. Bart Lawhorn, I love my BMW 750. BMW 750 is a hot car, especially the M. Great car. Trip Rideshare, I hope we can work together. I hope you can tell your brothers and sisters at Trip, we want to work with you. I want to see disruptors in the industry that shake it up with these boys, right? Because pure greed has set in and it's not functioning here. This is not functioning right now, right? You can still go in and register under any of these people, you can get paid a referral fee, and then you have to decide and figure out for yourself how to make money with Uber and Lyft based on that 60-40 split. There are still ways of making money, right? But certain areas of making money have been shut down. That whole surge thing that we relied on, shut down, right? Pushing pool, watering us down to sense. I'm not going dark on the industry. Travis Kalanick started something big. We've got to make it better. Let's see. Enrique Hernandez, good idea. GOAT, couriers. Greatest of all time couriers, right? It's the brand name, GOAT. Brand name Lyft, brand name Uber. You got to slot your verticals, your money makers into the company, right? I have over 7 years knowledge, car rentals, SUV rentals. I make a lot of money. As you know, I got a big deal on the 50 Priuses. Prior to that, of 40 SUVs, almost on 90 cars, over 90 cars right now, leasing out. I want to incorporate the GOAT rental model into that. A better way, the way I see and understand rentals to the rideshare industry. Not the way Hertz does it, where they rent out for a day or two or a week and the people screw up their cars because they think it's not my car, I can ruin it. I have found ways to create relationships where people, after years and years, are still leasing the car from me. So I want to bring that knowledge into GOAT, right? So we can have multiple verticals, including future drone, aviation, courier, executive services, leasing possibilities, everything in GOAT. That's what I stand for. Ocean Ali, good to see you again. Friday nights aren't really worth it anymore. Why stay out late for Uber and Lyft to steal the surge? Good point. When did you see that changing though, Ocean Ali? When did that start going south for you? Uber girl Paula, exactly, Enrique. Yeah, support our brother and sister. Uber girl Paula, are you joining us to Sacramento? I'm leaving at 5 a.m. and driving up. I believe so far I have Thomas Gibson on board. I believe so far I have Kevin the Apptrepreneur on board. I may have Dave the Uber slave on board. I would love to see Paula on that trip, right? Harold Kimes in the house. Good to see you. Love back to you, my friend. Fayetteville, Arkansas in the house. Arkansas. Sorry. I don't know why, but when I came to the United States, I always said Arkansas. It's Arkansas. People said, you don't say Arkansas. I kept on saying Arkansas, right? And they looked at me like, dude, it's Arkansas. So pronunciation, I got to work on that a little bit. Yeah, GOAT will never deliver food. I will agree with you on Bart. The food delivery industry, I don't know who's making money there. I really don't. I wouldn't want to mix it up with Postmates, with Uber Eats. Let me correct myself. I wouldn't want to get into industries that I have very little knowledge about or that my team has very little knowledge. Work on your strengths, right? And then build. So Trip Rideshare said, and they all cut your pay and pay Paula, and none of them make a profit. And Trip will also have to show how their revenue model will work and how people will make, everybody will have a shot at it. But the reasons why our profits get diminished is because greed is set in here. They have to feed the greed machine, right? And they're not willing to up the rates with passengers, but they are willing to take away from drivers. So once greed is set in, once that virus, that disease called greed is set in, it's hard to fix. Bensvik, I'm planning on driving to Sacramento, so I'll look out for you, Torsten. It's Clint. Where are you driving from, buddy? Maybe you can join us. Jose Soto, I just got into Uber Eats, lost my job, and my car is not good enough for Lyft or Uber. Is even worth doing the rental service or even bothering with it? Which rental service? Bay Area. Okay, cool. So you're coming down from the Bay Area. Awesome. Hit me up there. You'll see me. I'll be wearing the GOAT shirt. Loud and proud, baby. Loud and proud. Goats, representing all the goats. Some guy yesterday said, well, GOAT that's an evil creature in spiritualism. Listen, goats are animals. Goat kids are little animals, fun animals. It's an animal, guys. And, it's a logo. It's a name. But more than GOAT, it has always been branded as the greatest of all time. We're just adding the word drivers to that, right? Because they're all greatest of all time drivers. Don't look into the dark meaning of it, right? That's not where the brand or the logo wants to go. Yes, correct, sir. Eduardo Acosta, 7-9, baby. We should touch down at 10 a.m. And then 11:45, we're going to be over at the state capitol and invade the cameras and invade the mics. And I will pitch Trip. Why not? I don't mind. I'll pitch it. Gina Brennan. Hi, Torsten. Joe sent you text this morning. Uber will not approve my insurance. Oh, I saw that. Why? Why would they decline it 7 times? What's wrong with it? There's obviously an argument. Is your name on the insurance? Or is it a car that belongs to your wife or your friend and your name is not on the insurance? There's a reason why they are declining your insurance. Send me the screenshot. Why would you upload it 7 times and they would decline it 7 times? Makes no sense to me. So there's something wrong with the wording. There's something that they're seeing on that insurance that's not adding up. Is it the car, the VIN, the car is not matching the car on record in their app? Are the names not matching up? Where's the issue? Let's get to the bottom of this. But it's not going to help you uploading the insurance document an 8th, a 9th, a 10th time with the hope that they're going to approve it on the 12th time. They obviously have detected something, right? Juan Garcia in the house. How are you, Juan? Let me have a look at it. You say everything's perfect. Have a different set of eyes look at it. Get a second opinion. You're doing the best. Fantastic, my friend. So if there are Trip drivers out there, we are talking about the different types of rideshare companies. I want Trip input, right? I want to see after this Trip messages in this live feed afterwards. This is what Trip does. This is what Trip charges. This is the market they've just opened up, right? I saw something. Let me just go to it. I saw something. Let me see if I can find it. I found something on Trip. There we go. Let me get that. Sorry, I'm opening up a picture here in my files. Here it is. I want to ask my Trip friends about this, what this means. Technology. Come on, technology. Waiting. Come on, technology. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Okay. It's being stubborn. I created a slide on Trip. I had a question. I was hoping that some of the Trip people could answer that for me. Why is it not opening up? Interesting. So let's see. What do we have? What do we have, folks? There it is. There it is. Damn, that took a long time. Maybe it's the internet. Here's a question I have. Here's a question that I have. So I'm giving Trip a shout out here. They said incentives to join. So for the Miami, Fort Lauderdale market, new drivers will be able to sign up without an upfront cost until 8/17/19. So drivers will not have to pay an upfront cost. Was it always like that? If you could share. The setup fee of $249.99, call it $250, will be charged 10 days after they start driving in that market. Okay, so if you're a driver in Miami, put down your credit card information, blah, 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 and then you drive for 10 days, and they're going to charge you $249. Okay, I understand that. The actual subscription package cost will be charged 30 days after they start driving. Why not just make it simple? Why have all these steps and regulations? I don't get it. Okay, but okay. So the actual subscription package cost will be charged 30 days after they start driving. Drivers will have the opportunity to earn first and pay later. I have never, ever heard of that business model. I hope it works. I hope it works. Drivers will have the opportunity to earn first and pay later. Drivers will have the opportunity to earn first and pay later. I need some clarification on that, Trip. Please come in, maybe Trip Rideshare. If you could explain that to us. I'm sure you know more than I do. So the second thing was they have a founders club for members who join before August 17th. Okay, so August 17th is the day they start driving in Miami. So it says earn up to 100,000 smart points. So it's a smart point system, right? Sound like multi-level marketing. Earn up to 100,000 smart points redeemable to stock options for simply signing up as a driver influencer, So here they're pushing for, they need driver influencers. They're not trying to get influencers. They're trying to give some incentives if you sign up on this specific day before July the 3rd, 100,000 points. If you sign up before until July the 13th, 80,000 points. If you sign up before and until July the 20th, 60,000 points. If you sign up before or until July the 27th, 40,000 points. Blah, 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 blah. The last one is 7,500 points. Sign up before until August the 17th. So truly, truly in the last ditch effort, it's the way I see it when people put out more like a desperate last minute attempt to get people involved, right? But what they need are driver influencers. So if there's anyone who wants to become a driver influencer, go and talk to Trip Rideshare here. There he is in the house. If you want to become a Trip driver influencer and benefit from this, go and speak to our guest, Trip Rideshare. And then Trip Rideshare, if you could explain this model here to the users if they contact you. I don't want to do it right now. I don't have the time, but you've got a contact person right there, Trip Rideshare. Talk to him. Right? Now, as far as the funding platform, within 24 hours already, less than 24 hours, actually about 17 hours already, have 46 backers, and we're way on target. Here we're also giving back in form of stickers, shirts, caps, city ambassadors, council. You get different privileges on street teams to market yourself, to market all your referrals, your trip referral codes, your Uber referral codes, your Lyft referral codes, ways you can make money. So my intent with GOAT is always to give, listen to me carefully, always give value back. I'm not saying it's a one-way street. Even if you as the public who've never driven come in with $2, you're going to help protect our legal rights against the big bullies. We want to go out there and get representation at the table. That's what I'm pushing for, right? So we can show up in many forms. Not only can we form a company, buy the drivers for the public, but we can also go and rattle the cage. We can cause as many earthquakes as Uber and Lyft wants us to cause. All depends on the treatment we get, right? Isn't that pretty clear? Depending on how Uber and Lyft want to treat us tomorrow, next week, next month, we can create earthquakes, or we don't have to create earthquakes. If they want to help build bridges, let's build bridges. But bridges means include us in the talks. Don't go around our effing fucking backs and stab us in the back with unions finding loopholes. Then you wake up the monster, the dragons. That would make a great video. Driver dragons burning down the city. Because that pisses me off. If there's anything that pisses me off, is dark backroom deals done with people that'll change the law to try and screw up our rights. That is one of the questions, trust me, when I go up there on July the 9th, and I will go over to Uber and Lyft representatives, and Dara Kay and them will never show up there. They'll be too chicken shit to show up at that rally. But I will go and ask them and say, why did you guys start negotiating and looking for loopholes with the union? Why didn't you just come straight to us? Get them on camera. And why are we going up there? We're going up there with 5 live streams, folks, so we get these people on the record. And if they cancel the rally, I'd understand why. They're scared because we're coming. We've announced ourselves. We are going to fly on our frickin' dragons. We're going to fly over Sacramento. Dragons are coming with their live streams, baby. So be careful what you say, live stream. We will hold you accountable, Uber and Lyft. Dragon wings. Fire. Fire. Dragon wings. Fire. We are coming. We're coming. We're coming. Trip Rideshare says, because Bob, the CEO, doesn't have enough drivers from this networking marketing idiots. Hey, that is an honest, smart answer. That's an honest answer. Dude, you're a real guy. In my eyes, you're a real guy. That's a real answer. So when you say it doesn't have enough drivers, now, Trip, Rideshare guy, now we have to find ways to get you the drivers and the passengers, right? Got to use real techniques. That's what I'm going to do at GOAT. Real techniques, real authentic techniques to get passengers, riders, and drivers. Not just influencers. So I hear you. That to me is probably a frustrating job for you, for the company, is to get the drivers. Here, it's pretty easy. Here you have thousands and thousands and thousands of drivers in different houses that we can call on anytime, on Dustin's house, Harry's house, my house, our house, all of our houses. We have real people that are ready to rock and roll for something new, right? And you're just sharing with us they're having a little bit difficulty signing up drivers. I can tell you one thing, GOAT doesn't have any problem signing up drivers. We've already seen what has happened on street teams. They have come out big time, right? Here on street teams, where are you? Show your face. Show your face. I think the internet's slow because of my live feed. I've got a few computers going here. Denver Mitch, we wouldn't need regulation if people were better informed. So AZ Driver just posted a post right now on street teams, Uber and Lyft booking fees. Okay, let me read you what AZ Driver just said on street teams. And this very moment, in the last few minutes, LM Valley Transport joined. Big Joe just joined. You're welcome. And Mr. Lind 54 just joined. Jose Rivera in the house, $14.99. Love you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you. Go to street teams, Jose. Trip Rideshare said, go to U4Ride, GQ, and Rideshare. I'm going to okay that message, Trip, because you've become a friend of us. There it is. You happy? Made a friend. I made a friend. I like making friends. I like making friends. George Schneider, there is no point of inviting Uber and Lyft to the table. GOAT is the solution. So, George, what you are telling me is like bypass Uber and Lyft, go straight to GOAT. Not in my DNA, my friends. I've got to work with these guys, right? You got to keep the parties happy and people move and transition, right? But I like your style. It's like you can't go cold turkey on Uber and Lyft like today, because you can't take a Trip ride yet. You can't take a GOAT ride yet. So let's move these companies forward, GOAT and Trip, right? Keep on making money on Uber and Lyft. And then, my friends, you compare apples and oranges. This is what I get in this basket. This is what I get in this basket. I'm getting pineapples and pears over here. I'm getting little cherries and dried plums over here. Do the math, do the comparisons. But I like George Schneider's way of thinking. But I do want to give AZ Driver, he's an Arizona driver, obviously. He wrote this 11 hours ago. Uber and Lyft recently and quietly, don't we know that, and quietly raised their booking fees from $2.65 to $3 in Phoenix. That's about a 13% increase. Driver booking fees, however, remained at 30 cents. When was the last time Uber and Lyft raised anything you make by 13%? Thank you for that feedback, buddy. It's out there. So if you have not joined yet, you can join for free at www, which stands for World Wide Web, streetteams.com. I think that's a cool name, right? Creating teams on the street, teams in the city. Thank you to Brian Olsen for coming up and securing that name. There it is. Anybody ever bought .com names way back in the days, late 80s, early 90s when they just started? There were a few that I sold for a lot of money. I sold grab.com for $125,000. I sold 4apartments.com for $100,000. And my biggest ticket to date, which is just recently sold, was handshake.com. Sadly, I have an agreement with a company I cannot discuss, but that was my ticket. That was my ticket to freedom for me, kids, everyone in my family. One genius purchase. So yeah, sometimes we've got to have a little bit of luck, right? So my trip friends, where are you? Come out, report wherever you are. We want to see you. Let's see, what do we have? I'm going to see here. Speed Racer, I like his logo. Dude, Speed Racer has a legendary logo. I like it. Bitcoin! Paula, drive up with us to Sacramento and make some live feeds on Bitcoin. Come on, man. Come on, Paula. How much work goes into running a channel? A lot. You got to set that time aside. It's a fine balance, Speed Racer. If you have family, you know, I have family. I've got to be there for my 2 boys. I have an awesome ex-wife. I have a wonderful, beautiful girlfriend who has 3 kids. I've got to be there for those 5 kids, right? Then you got to go out, make money. Then you got to definitely make sure that you're there for the people, your family in our house. So you find a nice balance, and in between you rest and sleep a little bit or take a power nap, right? Go to the gym. Go and have fun. Yesterday I had fun. Did a little live feed while the fireworks were on. But I was in a canyon in Calabasas, right underneath the fireworks where the reception was bad. So it was like glitching. So I deleted that. But what a spectacular fireworks display, being right underneath it. These things are shooting over, boom, with loud music, party, dancing. I made a live feed there with the people from the band, walked right up to them. They were singing and dancing, and we had a lot of good fun last night. I got 2 trips in, 2 private trips. So Junior Gonzalez, what's the ETA for the GOAT app? Very good question. The GOAT app will follow after the 2nd round of funding. But a lot of that infrastructure is already built, right? But we're not going to come out and say, hey, here's our app. And no, it'll be announced when it's announced. No coming soon signs. It will be announced, just like we announced Street Teams, just like we announced the first platform for the first round of funding. Everything will follow in sequence. So Big Joe Salerno is is sharing a cool story with us. He says, I sold adlanderpro.com for $1,500. Sweet. Probably bought it for $15. So you probably made a $1,485 profit. Good for you, my friend. John American. Why does one making $100,000 per domain need to drive an Uber? It's a far bigger picture. If you are leasing out 40 SUVs at $550 a week, you have to have a relationship with 40 drivers. If you have other cars, Priuses, you have to have relationships with drivers. If you want to start a channel, you got to be able to show and prove what you have done, walked your walk in this industry, right? So into the Rideshare Professor channel are slotted multiple different money-making verticals. I've looked at every single angle I can make money with Rideshare, up to the point that it is now time for our own Rideshare company. So $100,000 in my eyes, German American, is small potatoes. It's small potatoes. Very, very small potatoes. Adventure Girl Paula, I did a live stream from the Hood and Skid Row. Oh, you did? Last time I was in Skid Row with the Foo Fighters, taking them to a benefit concert, 40 feet away from the security, they tried to break in my car. They hit the window 18 times. I was at Skid Row, bringing people there for a benefit concert for the homeless, and the homeless decided to steal from us. Very cool. Yeah, Speed Racer, you can email me or text me afterwards. Absolutely. So Big Joe Salermo says, Lyft charged the passenger $14.54. He obviously got that verified by the passenger and took $6.75 upfront pricing. Freaking, I guess that's bastards. Left me with $7 in change. Wow. Okay, Paula, I am going to go and check out your live streams later. Just come with us to Sacramento and you can live stream to your heart's content. Marshall Paul says, I'll have to look into trip vehicular requirements, see if my Mercedes E-Class diesel would fit the bill. Sure it will. Don't see why they would turn you away. Gina Brennan, I think GOAT is going to be successful, and I'm going to replace that with I know GOAT is going to be successful because it's built from bottom to top, right? The people that know the industry are building this company together, including all the drivers. This is not a bunch of greedy ones dictating top to bottom, right? It's a whole different approach, flipping the entire model upside down. Gina Brennan, thank you. Go and register. I want to see your name, Gina Brennan, on Street Teams. Reach out to me. Go find Rideshare Professor and form a relationship so we can start networking. Trip Rideshare says, Dave, the Uber slave, thanks you. If that's you, Dave, you have a seat on the car all the way up. Is it Dave? Dave, are you behind Trip Rideshare, Dave? Which is cool. I signed up because I wanted to find out how the system works, right? Tony Slaughter. Is everything we do with GOAT tax deductible? If it was launched as a 501c3, a nonprofit, it would be tax deductible, Tony. But you cannot start a rideshare company as a nonprofit, right? Wouldn't work. Nonprofits are for causes. If you want to start an animal abuse center or protect the elderly or have some good cause, you can form a 501 Even a political cause, you can form a 501. You can't really sell people on a rideshare experience where there's transactions, businesses, and try and disguise it as a non-profit. Wouldn't work in the business world, to answer your question. Romeo Bucala, the rideshare is good for older people and who people can't find a job. True statement. Oh, you signed up under Dave? Yeah, Dave's a legend. Okay. Dave, the Uber slave, is a legend. Great guy. Actually had a cool time down in San Diego together. Business expense, if you start marketing through street teams, as a lot of people have already done, yes, then you assign that. Very good point, buddy. Then you assign that as a business cost. Keenan Smith, I signed up with Trip. I think it's pretty cool so far. That's good. I'm happy. I'm happy that they've got good updates. We're not here to trash Trip. We're trying to push them along. We're trying to help them along, right? So Keenan Smith says, I signed up with Trip. I think it's pretty cool so far. That's good news. Mile IQ, Speed Racer, Mile IQ. But understand that I don't write off the miles. I have packaged everything as a company. So I have far higher expenses and far more deductions. So you can go the mileage route, or you could go the LLC route, or you could set yourself up as an S corporation. And that truly pays to have a good accountant, right? I am not the accountant. I just have a very, very good accountant. Original Chihuahuan, Mr. Professor, how do I sign up on Go? Explain, please, in 45 seconds, different level sign up. So you can come on board on a free capacity, right? You don't have to sign up and pay anything to become a free member. You can become a super member or a city ambassador, or all the levels are explained. If you actually go to the sign up button on Street Teams, right? Original Chihuahuan, every little category there is explained. Welcome to go there. I'm not going to read out all the wording. I can gladly do another video on that, explain all the different levels, but we went through that on day one. It's all there on the site, streetteams.com. Just click on the sign up button and you'll see the different levels. Everlance is a good free app, says Paula. I'll trust you on that. Thanks, Original Chihuahuan. I appreciate that. Louis F says, no pit bulls allowed in my car, only caged Chihuahuas. Frickin', I'm sure if you have some angry pit bull in your car who sees another dog outside, I'm sure the side of your car could get pretty scratched up and pretty mauled up. But they're great dogs, beautiful dogs. I like them. I don't think that pit bulls should be stereotyped. Beautiful dogs. I love all dogs. My service dog is half pit. There we go, Speed Racer. See? Half lab. Labs are chill, man. Golden retrievers and labs, the most chill animals, the best animals for kids, they say. They say. I have not seen an angry, full-bred golden retriever or Labrador that got pissed off. They're always chill. Golf Hotel, seriously asking. What are you seriously asking? Tell us, buddy. Oh, Rottweilers are beautiful. Mastiffs, big, 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 chunky dogs. I like him. Who's a couch? Oh, your dog's a couch potato. He doesn't want to get off the couch. Got to take him for a run, man. Tim Olsen in the house. Good afternoon to Minneapolis. Good to see you. TNC permits are expensive in California. Woo, very expensive. Not TCP, TNC. Pitbull, Romeo says, Pitbull is a good dog. Those bad apples make them look bad, an owner of dog. Yeah, I agree with you. If they breed them young for fighting. Obviously, a pit bull is going to be represented in the most wrong way. But a pit bull who's grown up with the family or grown up with other people is the most chill, beautiful dog. They're very, very docile. Raquel Kidd, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for the contribution. Much appreciated. Rod Eyring in the house. Hang in there, Torsten. We are behind you, as I'm behind you too. I'm going to carry your voice to Sacramento on July the 9th and make a lot of noise for Rod Eyring. When things are looking slow, remember how many times drivers have been led down the primrose path by Uber and Lyft, street signs, Denver City Ambassador. There he is. So if you want to know good input, what happens in Denver City, you go to Rod, you go to the gentleman and say, hey, listen, I want to join in Denver, sign up under his code, let him explain the lay of the land in Denver City to you, right? So city ambassador for that. And Rod should be driving on all these platforms. Rod should be figuring out, which he has, where do I make the most money? And he's keeping his eyes open on new options, right? Good. That's just being smart in life. That's working smart, not hard. So I like that attitude. Thank you for being on board. I appreciate you, Rod. Gina Brennan says, Uber Lyft did the thing you never, ever do in business. Chase market share by cutting prices. Yeah, they discounted. Even pre-IPO, the discounts they put out there, subsidizing those trips, it's coming back to bite them. They have cheapened their company in desperation to get people on board, right? So what happens here is Wall Street, this is how it plays out in real life, folks, in business. So you go out pre-IPO, try and create all that hype to show the people at IPO, hey, this is what we did in the last quarter. This is how many people we signed up. Why? Because we gave all those discounts, right? We discounted our service. We discounted our product so cheaply. That's how people came on board. So it looks all fluffy and glamorous around IPO time, but then reality sets in, right? And reality is now they have to subsidize and deliver on all those discounted trips, make a negative, make a loss, right? And then it gets even worse. Now those passengers who've been spoiled with those discounts, now you want to turn around after you've lowered the bar already down to here with the discounts. Now Wall Street wants them to raise the prices. That's the moment the passenger leaves. That's the moment we as GOAT capitalize. That's the moment Trip capitalizes on Uber and Lyft's idiotic, stupid marketing campaigns, idiotic and stupid executive decisions, cheapening the product pre-IPO, and then Wall Street's going to force them to raise the product. Ay, caramba. Who is behind this mess? Original Chihuahuan, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. The Walmart syndrome, exactly, Vinny, cuz that is the Walmart syndrome. If the sad thing is that Walmart produces 70% of its products in China, lowest quality, lowest grade. You would never want to feed your dog, your pit bull, any Walmart dog food or cat food. Never would you want to do it because it's produced at a minimal cost in China, not even by Americans keeping the money in the economy, and then sold back into the US, pushed out, distributed out through Walmart. Shameful exploitation of the system, bringing second, third grade crap, right? Again, I don't know about, like, obviously local produce or bananas or canned food or crafts. Obviously those American products, you all get them at Walmart. You can pick and choose, right? Your chips, your whatever you want to buy at Walmart, you're going to get. But knowing that 70% at least has been made in China, brought in and sold back for a mammoth profit. I don't like that. And then the way they treat their staff, their labor. I don't like that. The Walmart family is not my fan. They may be billionaires, all of them, all the Walmarts, but they have truly worked the system. They are truly greedy MFs. Truly. Not my fans. Yeah, that's it. I eat organic, all natural foods, absolutely. And that's the same food you should give your cat or dog. That's what I do. I am not going to give my cat or dog undergrade shit food. Ain't going to happen. Goat Miami. Yes, hopefully Trip can start in Miami, lay the path, and then Goat can come in. JT in the house. Thank you. I love Costco. The problem is with Costco, you walk in and you never get out under $200. Anybody tried that? Costco is awesome. Great, great products. But when you check out, you never check out under $200. Damn, you buy coffee creamer, brr. Buy coffees, brr. You buy toothpaste, 10-pack, brr. Costs a lot of money. Everything counts in large amounts. Who sang that? First one. Yeah, you know what scares me here, James Skidmore, is that they say another big. They monitor. There were over 100 little smaller earthquakes right after the main 6.6 earthquake here in Cali, and they said next week we can expect a big one. That doesn't make me very happy. I don't even feel like going indoors. I'd rather like to stand on an open field or camp out all week, because nothing can fall on my head except for a falling star or an asteroid. I do not want to be. I don't like earthquakes. I really don't. It's the shittiest feeling to be in an earthquake. You feel extremely powerless. There's a typo under risks and challenges on that page behind you. It's hear your voice. Let's see. Hear your voice. Where is it, my friend? I can't see that. I'll check into that, but thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Under risks and challenges. Thank you. Let me take a quick picture and I'll send it to the tech team so we can get that corrected right away. Appreciate you bringing that up. I'm just going to take a quick picture and shoot that over. Thank you. Appreciate the input from the house, Brad. You felt part of the earthquake in Arizona? You serious? That's how far it went? My house was shaking yesterday. And I was quite far away from the epicenter. I did see the footage. Did anybody see the footage from the epicenter? Some of those stores and hotels, geez, like that is hardcore. Did you see some of the roads just crack up? That crap frightens me. Never mess with Mother Nature. Mother Nature is powerful. Oceans are powerful. Weather is powerful. Earthquakes are powerful. Tornadoes are powerful. Hurricanes are powerful. Don't think that you as a human are going to outride the storm. When they say get out, you get out. When they say take shelter, take shelter. Or do you truly want to take on and be Mr. or Mrs. Hurricane? I don't think so. I don't want to have a label and Mr. Earthquake, Mr. Earthquake proof. No, I'm not. Earthquake, gone. We had a threat of apple-sized hail last night. Damn. And I've experienced that in South Africa. I had my Golf GTI completely destroyed by golf ball-sized hail balls. Completely destroyed. But apple-sized? No, thank you. Imagine an apple-sized hail ball hits you on the head. That's concussion right there, man. You know, you better hope that your roof, your tiles stand up to that apple hail. Tornado touchdown. I respect you too. Honolulu, Hawaii, I go to the Big Island very often. Actually Got some property there in Kona. Honolulu, Hawaii. Beautiful. I love the Big Island. The kids love the Big Island. Leeds, United Kingdom in the house. We welcome you. Vroom. How's that for a cool name? He just came flying in. Vroom, vroom, vroom. UK, Leeds in the house. We welcome you. Much love to Leeds. Parked up having a Burger King. True American burger. Until you've had In-N-Out. We've got to send you an In-N-Out to Leeds. From Cali, an In-N-Out burger. Anybody had an In-N-Out burger? I mean, you have McDonald's, you have Burger King, you have Jack in the Box. I'm not saying that they're the healthiest food out there, but then you have In-N-Out. On a whole different level. Not oceanfront, but a little bit up the road from oceanfront. Stunning little community. And the vegetation, the plants, whoo, beautiful. The stuff that grows in Hawaii is stunning. Stunning oranges, reds, palm trees, lush green, except for those floods that came, except for all the fissures and the volcanoes and all that stuff. I got some great pictures of me getting right up to that fissure. I managed to get through there and get some stunning photos. I've got to share them with you sometime. Right up there, that big bright red, took with my phone. We don't talk money, my friends. We talk achievements. Dang geckos. You got geckos everywhere? Must be very hot there, DJ Quicksilver. In-N-Out rules. I have to agree with that one. A lot of my private clients, hey, can I give you an In-N-Out burger order before you get to the airport? And you do a quick pit stop for them. Folks, we're on the 1 hour 46 mark. My son just texted me and says that Rajon Rondo is a free agent. To respond to him there. Sorry, family affairs here quickly. GPC TV. I don't like paying taxes, but I got to pay taxes. Sucks. I don't know why companies like Amazon and Apple and them don't have to pay taxes. It boggles my mind. Mavericks should pick him up. Smart idea. Be very interesting to see when Kawhi Leonard, they call him the Y. When is Y going to make up his mind? Is it going to be Toronto? Is it going to be Lakers? Of course, you know where I want him, in my city. But then we already got Anthony Davis. Maybe we shouldn't be too selfish. But I think we have a good shot at Kawhi Leonard. Apparently today or tomorrow, the big announcement. Hopefully he comes here. LA probably, that we think, Brad. All right, my friends, I need 50 thumbs up. I got to go. The day has started. I have a lot of things to take care of. Can I have 50? You guys are amazing today. Thank you for your input. Thank you, Trip Rideshare, for coming into the room and shedding a lot of good light on Trip. We appreciate you. Thank you for Dave, the Uber slave, for signing up Trip Rideshare, that he could come into our room and really give us some good knowledge. Dustin is fantastic. Kevin is great. Somebody doesn't like Geo here. It's okay. Let it go. Let the hot potato go. Let it go. Don't let it burn. You're holding on to that. Let it go, GPCT. He's doing great work in Chicago. There we go. Peace for all. Tommy. Ooh, we got a lot of good icons there. A lot of good emojis. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. That is the frequency I'm going to set for your day. May you have an amazing, amazing afternoon till midnight, and tomorrow is another day. Wow, we are on Friday, right? The weekend is right before us. What are you guys doing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Gina, thank you. Lewis, thank you. Brad, thank you. Speed Race, thank you. Denver, thank you. GPCT, thank you. Paula, thank you. Lewis, thank you. Did I leave anybody out? And the other 62 people in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Could say thank you 64 times, I guess. Having an amazing one, my friends. Oh, tongue twister. Need some water. 1 second. Amazing? It's called amazing, Torsten. These are the ones I buy for my car. I go through them. These are the ones. I hand them out. Dead for 4 hours. We're going to change that right now, Lewis. We're going to send you trips. May your app ring. May your app ring. Tim Olsen, have a great one. Leeds in the house, have a good one. Paula, have a good one. Original Chihuahuan, have a good one. A lot of amazing people in our house. Michael from Seattle, show us the money, honey. That's the one we're going to go out on today. Show us the money this weekend. Whoever you drive for, that company needs to show us the money. Thank you. I appreciate you. Love you all. See you very, very soon.